Yes, welcome back for yet another tutorial. This is our tutorial number 11, or our 11th question, and we are still looking at our queries. And just previously we looked at the number queries, or the criteria that require numbers, and in this tutorial we are going to look at what we call the date queries. Now there is just one thing that I want to emphasize, particularly in date criteria. There is what we call the hash symbol that we always need to emphasize whenever we are dealing with the dates. However, for this particular lesson we may not actually need to go into that. Now this is still the question that we are going to look at, and our main focus is going to be on the date. Remember, we have here a field for date of sale, so that is where our main focus is going to be in this particular lesson. Now let's go and look at the instructions that have been given to us. The first instruction says create a query to display the following: items that were sold in the month of February, save it as February. Items that were sold before April, save it as before April. Items that were sold before after April, save it as after April. Now let's go to our database. Remember, we already have this database created, and so we're just going to go and do those create those queries following what has been asked of us. Now here comes our database, and remember, they told us to create a query that will display items that were sold in the month of February, save it as February. So we go and create that query. We added the table, and here are our fields. Remember, this time around we are working with date of sale as our field, and here our criteria shall go as follows. Remember, all our items were sold in the same year, so it won't require a lot of thinking here. We know the year still remains constant, and what we are only going to change is the month. So we shall simply say month. Remember, we are dealing with the month of sale. Which month is it? The month of which field? The field is called, remember, if you are going to refer to an existing field, we use this square bracket. It's the one that we use to enclose an existing field, and DOS is an existing field. So we add it as DOS. Close off the, let me just zoom this so that we see what I'm talking about. Month, DOS in square bracket, close the bracket, and then we are saying the month is what? February. So we just add 2 because 2 stands for February, which is the second month. Then we say okay, and if we run this criteria, we are able to get all those items which were sold in the month of February. They are 4 items, and they are right here. They were sold in the month of February. So that is how our criteria is. So we go and save it. We save it as February. February, yes. Okay. We go and yes, that is our criteria. So we have February right there. Then we go and create our another query as we've been instructed. We design, add the table, add all the fields, carry them right here. Still we are dealing with the month, and what does this one require us to do? Items that were sold before April. So we go to our question, and still we are dealing with the month. The year is constant. Then we come and say the month is from which field? The field is called DOS. Then the month should be before April. Before is the less than sign. April is represented by 4, and then we run. So all these months here, this is Feb, March, Jan, all these ones are before the month of April. Well, so that is, so we can see what we have here is a list of items that were sold before the month of April. Now we just come and save it as before April. So let's save it as before April. Then yes, that is saved that way. Then finally they have asked us to create a query, so we go to create a query that will display items which were sold after the month of April. So we come, this is after the month of April, so we come to our database and we add the fields right here. Then under date of sale we say month, we use that bracket, it's from DOS, and what is this month? It should be greater than April. April is 4. That is how our criteria is looking like. So that's it. That is it. Then we run. As we may see here, this is June, May, June. So all those items were sold after the month of April. We now come and save our query as after April. And by the end of this lesson, at least you can see that we have asked the database several questions, and indeed it is trying to respond according to our queries. So that is how we approach queries. They are simply questions that we ask the database to return whatever we want. So since we have asked the database several queries, all these ones here have been asked, and we are still going to ask more queries so that we see what database can do for us. So this brings us to the end of this lesson. Watch out for the next lesson, and please endeavor to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Just go to Wejuli Moses, click subscribe, and you'll be good to go. Thanks for watching.